Capricorn, happy 2018 to you. Thank you so much for tuning in, for your dear support through the year. My gosh, it's been such a transformational period for us all. Love and light to you, and thank you again for all of your support. Let's get right into your January reading now, but before we do, a few changes here to the Whaley reading for this month specifically. I'm going to try it this way and see how it goes. Instead of doing two major readings, right, from the 1st to the 15th, and then from the 15th to the 31st, I'm going to section them off into 4 quarters, so each one being about a week long. So I'm going to read each week. We're going to start with the January 1st to the 7th reading. That's this video that's going to start right here, right now. And then I'm going to do the January 8th to the 14th reading in another video, and the 15th to the 21st, with the 22nd to the 31st in another video. That's going to be one video. So the last 2 weeks of January, from the 15th to the 31st, are going to be in one video that is going to have the same protocol as the last few months. You can purchase that via the link below in the description box that I provide, or simply go to alchemynew.com and you can get the last half of the month there. Okay, same deal as last month. Otherwise, I'm going to be having the first 2 weeks of the month out to you right here, and the last 2 weeks of the month reading will be available just as this video goes live as well. So I'm doing it all in one shot. Let's get right started with it. I almost said Sagittarius. Capricorn, Sagittarius wants to speak for you. Okay, let's get right with it though. This 1st to the 7th, with the full moon in Cancer being what kind of started us out with this week, and the first day of the year. Now, we have here a number of cards that have popped out. The 4 of Wands in reverse, overlaying Justice, okay, in reverse. A focus on clarity, okay, of matters that are and require of you to be creative and to, okay, ooh, 8 of Cups here, bending as it pops out. And 4, half of 8, okay, the focus could be on an emotional context of sorts. The Father of Wands, okay, coming out here strongly so in the top left-hand corner, apex of your reading. There is a certain creative direction that you need to formulate. I'm hearing that perhaps you have realized there needs to be clarity with a certain creative direction. I'm hearing assets as well, so there could be a focus on assets here, but for a number of you, there's a judgment call. There is a certain absolute decision that you feel you must make, and it speaks again to how it is that you creatively, creative endeavors, how you creatively craft your way through this new beginning. Now, again, the 1st of January was the full moon in Cancer, so something may have come full circle there in terms of a new beginning. Now, I'm getting it as a new beginning. The 5 of Swords popping out right beneath the 4 of Wands, a sequence here, the 8 of Swords upright, the Son of Cups in reverse. Okay, you then have the 7 of Cups in reverse right at the base of the Father of Wands upside down. You want absolute clarity of where you stand, of what direction you want to take on as it pertains to matters that are inherently emotional, the movement through emotional experiences. Now, you have 2 8s here, the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Cups. Again, the 5 of Swords upright, right beneath the 4 of Wands. You realize, I'm hearing, there is no saying and there's no doing. It is all a matter of how I enact my perception of what I say and what I do. And the clarity of your perception is everything, Capricorn, you realize that. But what charges your perception is how you feel. Is how clear you feel about how clear you perceive how you feel. I'm hearing indeterminately. What is just your emotional truth just because it is? What is it that you feel emotionally satisfies you just because it does? Being the charging factor here, okay, and the path that you take on is inherently emotional, but yet again, you realize that the sort of gateholder there is a matter of perception that's held, and there's a little bit of confrontation here as it pertains to the coming out about this emotional clarity and where we stand. I'm hearing in the haze. Okay, let's pull a card for each of the days to see exactly the progression of energies here. Okay. It's chilly here, guys. My goodness, it's nearly freezing. I think we were going into the negative. So I've got here a coat on, a sweater, and hopefully you're not too cold here during January. But let's see what comes through for you. The 1st to the 7th, and of course energy's fluid, so it may permeate a little before the 1st, a little after the 7th, and of course general reading, right? So it may resonate differently for everyone. Take it as you will. Always use your personal intuition. Always use your personal intuition. Okay. 5 of Wands in reverse. In the first position, Justice again coming through in reverse right after. The 7 of Swords upright. This came through for Sagittarius. Yes, prominently placed for Sagittarius. I believe it was in their tail end of January reading. Now you then have the Father of Wands again coming through. Prominent energy here. Very, very much so. 4, 5, okay. All right, all of the same cards. All of the same cards coming out. You have, we'll read through them. The 5 of Wands in reverse, with the Justice card in reverse, with the 7 of Swords, okay, but there could be contemplation on action, okay, Swords resembling, right, sort of thinking, strategizing, processing, intellectualization even, perception, and Wands, speaking of action, there could be sort of interplay there. You then have the Father of Wands upright, the 4 of Wands in reverse, upright, okay, but there's something perhaps, a question of orientation I'm hearing, as it matters, as it pertains to how exactly the direction is taken, how we approach matters of creativity, of speaking out about what it is that we see as a vision. But there is a lot of strategy here. I'm seeing a lot of strategy, and there are many thoughts that go into a certain gauging of an orientation. Now, the Son of Cups in reverse, the 8 of Swords upright, 8 again mirroring the 4 of Wands, 4 being a prominent, I'm hearing, theme here for you. The number 4 as well as 8, you had 2 8s that popped out in your last little spread here. Okay, but the focus for you here during this week, Capricorn, is on action. Okay, and we are just about in that time as we speak. I'm filming this on the 5th of January. The moon was in Leo, fire sign, just a few days ago, and that is EST, Eastern Standard Time in the US. So there could have been I'm hearing peaking of curiosity, of interest, of vision, of the aha moment, of what direction we want to take. But then you're sort of confronted with this reminder that we are to move through this emotionally with a certain emotional cognizance. Okay, I'm hearing paying mind to what emotionally matters and stands out. And I'm seeing the Father of Wands and the Son of Cups both wanting to swim, I'm hearing, filter through the 4 of Wands, this sort of vision, right? There's a realization here, Capricorn, that transformation is to come about, okay, is underway. And it's all a matter of how you move into, how you, I'm hearing, waltz into this new beginning. And at the same time, this end in a certain way, perhaps of how it is you've conducted certain actions. I'm also hearing certain professions. I'm hearing specifically of love for a number of you. Okay, but right at the beginning of the year here, just around the beginning, first few days of January, you had the 5 of Wands in reverse, Justice in reverse, the 7 of Swords upright, 7 of Swords yet again, mirroring the 5 of Wands in reverse. So many options. I'm hearing so many ideals, so many creative directions, so many factors, okay, as well. Perhaps variables that are to be considered in terms of how to strategize in a way that is, I'm hearing, by the terms. I'm hearing by the layman's terms for a number of you. Okay. Now, there could be a focus, though, on the energetics as well of this for those of you who I'm hearing are specifically in a spiritually based practice. Okay. Relaying certain information may be a focus here. Yet again, so many factors that perhaps were put on hold. I'm not getting that you, not necessarily put on hold, but that are not, I'm seeing it almost as thawed out, like in ice. I'm literally imagining like wands, okay, in ice. That's the sort of feeling that I'm getting here. Something has been frozen. It could be creative assets as well. It could be, I'm hearing the drive, okay, that accompanies the different methods and mediums that we take on as a certain action. I'm hearing to resurface. I'm hearing for the resurfacing act. You recognize, though, that at the end of the day, there is the need to decide very clearly where we stand ideologically amidst the many different creative avenues, okay? And it has to do with your values, okay? Your values and the stance that you take with them. Dear Capricorn, let's move into the next week now, the 8th to the 14th. I'm going to be doing another video for that, so feel free to click through to that video, and I'll see you there. All right, bye, Capricorn.